So this is you. I mean, not literally, it's me, but this is the position that you're in. You want to go from twig to big. You want to go from stick to thick. You want to go from skinny to, you want to get muscular, that's what I'm saying. But David, how am I going to get mega muscular? Well, you read the title, you're going on a bulk. Oh, and here's my credentials, by the way. I went from like 60 kilos to like 75, and I started at like 18, so it wasn't just puberty. Anyway, now before we dive in, something I've got to quickly get out of the way. If you're one of those people who says, oh, I've got a fast metabolism, I can't gain weight, shut up. If you want to make the argument that perhaps you don't have a massive appetite or you don't tend to like high calorie foods, fair enough. But I was one of those people who claimed a slow metabolism, and you can absolutely beat it, it doesn't matter. So tip number one is going to be having a step goal. Now you might think this is counterintuitive because by getting steps you're going to be burning calories, but there are two main benefits that I want to talk about. Firstly, getting some steps in, having a little walk after a meal can help improve your digestion of the food, and especially in a bulk when we're taking in a lot of food, we want our digestion to be on point. Secondly, getting enough steps, and by enough I mean sort of 6 to 10k, it's going to make you hungry. If you go out for a walk, when you get back you're like, oh, I fancy a kebab. So I would say in almost all circumstances, the calories that you will expend on said walk, which would be what, 100 maybe, is going to be less than the amount of calories that you're going to eat at the end because you have become hungry. Because let's face it, 100 calories is like a slice of bread. So the second tip, or I guess the fourth, I'm going to make this the fourth and the last one the fifth, so the list runs in reverse order and maybe I'll get more watch time. Speaking of engagement, leave a like. If you leave a like, maybe I'll send you a picture of a glute spread. So tip number 4 is carbs, not fats, or at least sometimes. Now, a lot of people, myself included in the past, would only focus in a bulk on protein intake and calorie intake, but carbs and fats and the balance between those two is also pretty important. So the thing I'm going to stress is your nutrition before the workout. So previously, I didn't really believe that carbs and fats had a big difference. I thought they were both a means to an end of getting calories, and fats I had to eat less volume of food. However, when I started having quite fatty breakfasts and going to the gym in the morning, well, I call it the morning, I'd wake up at midday and then go to the gym at about 3. But I would find after that fatty breakfast, I'd be much more sluggish in the gym, even after throwing 350 milligrams of caffeine in my system. So before you work out, ideally for most of the day, but you want to keep your fats low and keep your carbs high. Now, I'm a big fan of practicing what you preach, and I've just had some cereal and a load of Pizza Express dough balls, so I think it's time for me to go to the gym now that I'm nice and carved up. We have arrived at the gorgeous Physique Warehouse gym. I've taken an awful lot of pre. I forgot to film me making it, but there's quite a lot of scoops in there. And my ears are crazy itchy from the beta-alanine, and I love it. So let's get in and train push, dominant, upper. that was a good session. Got some nice progressions in there. So, without further ado, let's get back into the bulking tips. So tip number 3 is going to be learn to cook, and learn to cook well. You'd be surprised how much of your feeling of hunger is based on how much you're enjoying the food that you eat. So I used to, and still do sometimes, make some really bland dishes like just a jar sauce chicken and some rice with no added spices or marinating or anything. And a lot of the time that would lead to me having the plate in front of me, physically having to force feed myself each mouthful. Whereas if you have something nice and flavorful, you'll find it so much easier to just shovel it down and you'll enjoy it more. So this is obviously going to help you maintain that calorie surplus. So tip 2 are 2 foods that helped me a lot, which are wraps and yogurts. With a wrap, you can take pretty much anything, put it in a wrap and make it a burrito. So say you've made a chicken curry, split it into 2 wraps, and then you've now got 2 curry burritos and like an extra 300 or 400 calories. And yogurts I just find are really easy to get down. And it's just the kind of thing that I can have in between meals or before bed, just at any time. And I'll always be able to finish it and get those calories in. Now, the final and most important tip for getting those calories in is liquid calories. You've already seen me do it twice today. I put cyclic dextrin in my intra workout shake. That's about 100 calories and it's some carbs. And I've got this weight gainer shake which has about 600 or something calories in it. And obviously a liquid is a lot easier to get down you than food. Now if you want any of the way that I use, it's my protein. You can use my code DEWIT if you want to support me. And I'm not just saying I use it now because I get it for free. I've been using my protein for about 3 years. I've just always used that stuff. Now, a bonus tip that's not about just getting calories in. I've talked a lot about ways that you can shovel more food and calories into yourself. But a key thing to remember is to not overdo it with the surplus. I did that in the past. I was having like 4,200 calories a day for some days. I'm not huge. That was way too much and I ended up getting fat and I had to end the bulk at about 78 kilos. I wanted to hit 80, but I started to look like the Michelin man. So this final piece of advice is be in a small surplus, and when you stop gaining weight, add just 100 calories more, maybe 200, and that means you're going to put on less fat so you can have a longer bulk, get more muscle, and just be bigger, which is just what we all want. Bigger is always better, no exceptions. Okay, maybe tumors. So there we go, hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, you probably wouldn't still be here. So if you got this far, I'd appreciate any help with the algorithm, likes, comments, shares, everything. Because I want to do more YouTube videos. It just sucks when I spend like 5 hours on a video and then it gets like 100 views. So yeah, if you want training plans or the ultimate posing guide, links in my bio, and I'll see you sexy pricks in the next one.